So old Swampy, you know, Swampy's sort of grown. It's grown its own identity. It's a bit of a character on the show. People just love it. So from day one, it was all about putting 46-inch mud tyres on a 1996 Dog as a Rock Hilux.
Is that what we put on here?
Yeah.
Oh, fair income.
Each trip that we did with Swampy, we realised its capabilities, we realised its flaws, what it could handle, what it couldn't handle, you know. We always pushing it to its limit, always. But my ultimate dream was to make Swampy float. I wanted to get to a river and not let that be an obstacle, and that was the dream.
There's a little expanse of water here, buddy.
This is, we got to get across this. First thing I came up with is I had to obviously use flotation to get it across, because the tyres alone weren't going to do it. Not to mention the fact that it makes it unstable and would also can easily flip upside down. So I come up with the airbags, and I did the calculations as to what volume I would need to put on a 2-ton vehicle.
Guaranteed to float.
So the whole first sort of testing happened on the first river crossing up north, and so I was sort of cross fingers and going, hope it works, hope I've done my calculations. Now, when we did enter the water, it was sort of touch and go for a minute, and then she started to lift up, she started to float.
Whoa, you're floating.
We're going across the river.
We are so.
But then that's when we realised that the airbag on the front was going to be a pain in the neck, especially when you're trying to get it in and out of the river.
I'm going under. Holy crap.
So with a little bit more research and a little bit more sort of thinking and working out how I could sort of get rid of the flotation on the front and put it around the wheels, that's when I came up with the airbag development. Now, we did a couple of prototypes, and then eventually, after the trip that we did across the Jardine River, I learnt a lot from that. I learned a lot from that on how you attach it and the easy way to attach it, and that's when it all sort of panned out and we got it sussed for our Lorella Springs trip. I reckon I'm going to have to do a loop around. There's a couple of big holes here. Head down, cut a loop around, and then maybe over to this bank over here. Looks easier. And don't forget to tie the boat on, because we need that bit to get back. And there's the point there. Oh yes!
That's one on top. You had the quad bike. Good job. Yeah, well
done. Swampy, I suppose it's evolved. It's evolved over time. It may not be the best looking truck, and you know, we're not polishing the bonnet, and it's got rust in it, and you know, it's got dints in the panel. There's a dint in the roof. There's scrapes down the side. Like, it's hammered. But the one thing you could say with Swampy is it's well used. It's evolved into something that I'm quite fond of, you could say, and I don't want to leave that little sucker in the bush. I've sort of grown attached to it. So hopefully old Swampy's going to be living it up at home for years to come, and also out in the bush doing missions.